Did you see the Raider fans that are destroying Pete right now?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, good God. It is beautiful. Which brings me to this thing. It must feel so nice to have some validation under Pete Carroll critics and stuff like that. Tap myself on the back here and there. It's not like I've been saying this for a good 10 years. Oh my God. Yeah, I've been saying this crap for like almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
That Pete Carroll does not adjust. He doesn't. And for the Juno What's that say all these things like Pete Carroll's a great coach. Pete Carroll's a great coach. Just need to give him a chance. Yeah, we gave him a chance. 14 years of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do? You had Hall of Famers galore in Seattle. Well, technically not galore, but you had a majority of your time in Seattle, you had multiple Hall of Famers. Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Russell Wilson. Say what you want.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch. Okay, maybe less, but like it. Marshawn's a Hall of Famer, but he's going to get in late. But like it's 4 of those guys on defense were in the Hall are going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
that cannot be disputed. You had 4 Hall of Famers on defense alone. Defense is your MO. How is it that in the last 7 years of your tenure as Seahawks head coach, your defense has got consistently worse and worse and worse? How is that? How is that, Pete? How is that, Dustin? Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because you don't freaking adjust.
Well, it's because I will say
God.
this. As much as you have been a much more vocal critic of Pete Carroll than I have, I also have a hard time criticizing Pete. I'll couch it because he brought me some of my greatest Seahawk memories as someone who has been watching the team regularly since about 1998. Pete Carroll brought me some of the best memories I have of watching Seahawk football. So
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that at all.
Yes, it is hard for me to divorce myself from that personally. I'll never forget what my mom said to me. She goes to me, I called her before the Super Bowl. I've told variations of stories on other podcasts of this story, but I called her before the Super Bowl and I said, "Mom, I'm nervous. I feel like I'm going to take a test or something." And I said, I have a bad feeling that Pete's going to do something. He's going to blow this. She kind of said to me, she said, "Isn't he the only?" And my mom didn't watch football. She didn't know anything about it, but she supported me because I like the Seahawks. She knew how much I loved them. And so it mattered to her. And the first thing she said to me, she said, "I'm going to tell you, I watched an interview with Peyton Manning. He and the Broncos looked nervous. I think it's going to be all right." And then she said, "Isn't Pete Carroll the one that made them good? Weren't they not that good before he got there?" And I said, "Mom, with the exception of a few years of the Mike Holmgren era, you're right. But I will say where you have been right, you are 100% right that Pete Carroll had 4 Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers on defense. His system, he has faith in his system to the degree that he always feels, okay, we are not going to have our best corner shadow the best receiver for the entire game. Sherman will play in the same spot. That works when you have Richard Sherman.
It doesn't work when you have Thurl Simon.
Yes, that's exactly my point. He got too reliant on his system. He has such faith in it, and he forgets sometimes that the players in the system matter to the degree.
Oh, my God.
And he hit. You can't deny this because he was final say on personnel. He and John, in their first couple of drafts together, hit a bunch of home runs.
I'm not talking about the whole draft part.
I'm just saying. But then he got to the point where he relied on those home runs. And he thought that once players left, his system would be enough to carry it through. And it's not. It's not. It's clearly not. Now,
good luck, Raiders.
I still think Pete has something to offer as coach. However, he does not adjust. You are 100% right about that.
He doesn't.
He believes strongly in his system, and he always thinks that it's going to turn out okay. But the thing that he always People always say Pete Carroll hates turnovers. He went and grabbed a quarterback that, we're
Yeah,
gonna and
that's
tomorrow
the other thing, because
you're gonna hear me talk about Gino's woes on an episode to be released
how
tomorrow morning.
much of a freaking genius does John Schneider look right now? He
Looks
looks like
pretty
a
good right
genius.
now. Looks pretty
Because
good.
wasn't there a certain Jackson Bevins that said this was the worst free agency period the Seahawks have ever had
He did
under
say
John
that.
Schneider? I got to get that guy back on here one of these days and just laugh in his face hysterically.
I'm never going to do that because Jackson, he is.
He
more
looks like
knowledgeable-
he looks like he could take me on, but let's be honest here. I'm gonna laugh in his face. Feel like, Jackson, you look wrong here, bud.
Yeah, but
Like,
all of us. I mean, I set up the story with Ryan on No Creds the other night. I said I got to go back in time. Kevin, Dan, and I did an episode of Seahawks Sessions where we debated whether they were going to full rebuild. We were in shock, and now we even look ridiculous even having that episode. I don't think I could not have predicted that things would work out the way they've been working out. I'm thrilled that I was dead wrong.
Validation once again. But I feel bad for Raider fans because they deserve so much. They deserve so much good in this world. They've been through so much crap.
I feel
There
bad
you go.
for both
There you
sides.
go. Kevin perfectly summarized it. If Pete Carroll adjusts it, Geno Smith will be throwing 6 interceptions in a week. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah,
you're absolutely correct.
He's got 3 interceptions in back-to-back games, and I believe as of 4 games, I believe he had 8 interceptions.
Yeah. By the way, this is the same guy who wanted $40 or $50 million a year.
Yeah.
To Geno Smith. I kid you freaking not.
Oh, I know.
Kid you not.
And the thing is too, and I mean, you deserve.
God's sakes, Ryan. How does Pete not like turnovers? They're delicious and come in wide variety of flavors: sweet, savory, fruity, meat-filled. They're delicious.
But I will say, good, well played, sir.
No problem.
I will say though, I feel bad for both sides in this. My Uncle Matt's a Raiders fan. My Uncle Matt, he grew up in the 70s when the Raiders were good. You know, the late 60s, early 70s when the Raiders were good and everything. All my uncles. My one uncle's a Chiefs fan. My other uncle's a Washington Commanders fan. And my Uncle Matt's a Raiders fan. When were all those teams really good? The 70s. So
Daryl LaMonica. Daryl.
But the thing is, Raiders fans have been through a lot, for sure. But I also feel bad because I thought that Pete was at least going to bring them a level of play that was better than what they've had the last few years. I really thought the AFC West would be one of the most competitive divisions in football. And so far, the Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers are proving that that's the case. But the Raiders, they look a step behind. There's no way. But let me just say on the topic, do I think they should have drafted a running back that high? No, but calling Ashton Jeanty a bust 4 weeks into his NFL career, that's got to stop. That's got to stop. The Raiders' offensive line is rubbish. Yeah. Which, that is another feather in your cap. Guess when they finally invested in the offensive line when Pete's gone? With the exception of Charles Cross and Abe Lucas. He was still there for that.
Unbelievable. It's like validation. Once again. I love all of it. I feel like Voldemort right now. Validation.
Yes.
Once again, Mr. Potter. I do that actually.
Yes, you do. You do deserve a lot of credit for that. Then the one area where I deserve a little credit is I was right about Geno and his red zone interception.